What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a demo here running on Steam and the Steam Deck. I'll be checking this out on all the handheld devices, but I was starting here, and huge thanks to Sandfall, the studio, for getting me access and allowing me to play the demo here early on Steam. I'm having a blast with the game. It's definitely one of my most anticipated titles this year. But it is a little tough to run on the Steam Deck right now. We're at 800p, of course, with all the post-processing disabled, low settings with medium textures and anti-aliasing, and 70% on that resolution scale, just to give us a little bit of help and edge here. And we'll go through a couple of different areas and look at performance. While a lot of it might be a little janky and kind of unplayable, some of it shows me that there's definitely potential for some playable stuff here. And moving around your initial camp and menus and stuff, you're going to see those dips down under 30 into the 20s, but it does recover quite quickly, and I would imagine, that could get fixed up as well. This is a demo, and very early on, the game doesn't come out on Steam for almost 2 more months, a month and a half, and on Game Pass in about 3 weeks. So there's a lot of time left on this version of the game, and I don't want to judge its performance just yet, but I did want to jump in and just see how it was really running here. Now, this open world continent area obviously struggles a lot as well. It's zoomed out, showing a lot more. It's typically in the 20s. It's not too stuttery, but it is a lower FPS. As you transition into one of the battles out here, you're going to see the frame rate kind of jump around a lot too. And in battle, even though it's turn-based, which helps with the lower FPS, you are going to see it in those 20s a lot out here and bouncing around depending on what's going on. Now, the only time this will really affect you is when you're trying to hit these moments in battle where it's not just turn-based, but you're dodging or parrying, or how you see me hitting A here in battle, which I love this. I'm having a blast actually playing the game, the gameplay. But on the Steam Deck, the frame rate, at least right now, does make it a little janky and difficult sometimes in those moments, trying to pull off some of those dodges in time or parries or things like that. I did adjust to it and do pretty well the more I played on here. And again, a lot of turn-based stuff, lower FPS is fine, but this is pretty interactive turn-based, so that area was a little rougher. But as I did go farther and farther in, you move into these like more secluded areas where you're doing a quote-unquote dungeon or quest area. And these are where you're zoomed in on your characters that you're going to be changing in between and playing through there. Now, this is a lot of fun as well, and combat's the same and all that. You'll see that. But in this particular area, performance obviously a lot better, even though it does still have those skips in it. It's generally almost 10 FPS or so higher than what we were getting out in the other continent area, where you're really zoomed out and exploring and traveling your way around to the different map areas that you're going to enter like this. So I don't know how many areas that you enter like this are going to run this much better than the external map that we were running around in zoomed out, but it does give me some hope that maybe a lot of portions of the game like this, as you're really getting into it, will hopefully stay over 30 FPS, or we can lock at 30. But again, it's super early days on this right now, so I don't want to judge all the performance just yet. But I do realize that this game, just from even the trailers I saw earlier, I knew might struggle on the Steam Deck. So we'll just have to see how this works out when the game actually gets to launch. But it's pretty interesting to check out its performance now and see how it's doing here in the early days. And as you can see there, performance for that battle inside here in this instance was a lot better, and typically, even though it did have the drops, almost 10 FPS more than what we were getting in battle before. And I jumped into quite a few of these inside of here in different areas just to see how it would go. And I would call most of this, for this type of game, even with the interactive parts, quite playable. Where it was really questionable was more in the beginning, where we really saw that consistent 20 to 28 FPS battle we were in earlier. So again, I think it's just really going to depend on where you're at in this game, but also early days, demo, a lot could change. So I don't want to get too deep into it, but I did want to take an early look. Definitely anticipating this game a lot, having a blast in the demo so far. I really like what they've done with the combat here, and hopefully for lower powered devices like this, maybe it'll get a lot more playable and have more features for the graphics by the time it comes out. But we'll see, and I'll definitely be covering it at full launch, and I'll be covering this demo in more videos for more devices. So as always, guys, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.